Another different style video today. I know this is a bit of a different video to my normal book videos, and I have mentioned before that as I am a lifestyle blogger as well as a booktuber, occasionally I might want to do some more lifestyle style videos, and I've said that when I'm doing that I will be uploading them as the second video of the week when you've already had a book video. So if you're here for book videos, see either the previous video or the one after this, which I'm sure will be another book video. And if you're here for the baby names, hi, I'm Rosie. I normally make book related videos, talking about book hauls, book reviews, things like that. But I have seen this trend going around on YouTube and I love watching them. I just want to put it out there, I'm not pregnant and I'm not currently trying for a baby. I do already have a daughter. There are a couple of these names that are suggested for my daughter. There are a couple of names that wouldn't have worked for my daughter, wouldn't work with our family for whatever reason. And there are a few names that I really liked but my husband really didn't. So yeah, like I say, all of these names are names that I really like but for whatever reason I won't be using. So the first name that I'm going to mention is Vivian. I really loved Vivian and I got it from a book, which is no surprise. But Vivian was the main character in a book and I loved the sound of it. I thought it was really pretty and traditional, but my husband wasn't keen on it for some reason and I couldn't get him to come round to it, so we moved on from that one and that's why we didn't use Vivian, and I can't imagine us using it if my husband isn't a fan. The second name that I really love but won't be using is Georgia. Georgia was actually one of the top two names that I had when I was pregnant with my daughter, and the reason that we didn't go with Georgia in the end was because I really loved the shortening Georgie or George for a little girl. I really liked that. But I hadn't told anybody my baby names, and one of my very close friends had a baby and called him George. So we had been toying between the two different names, the one that we actually picked and Georgia, and that sort of made the decision for us, because when I had my daughter a couple of weeks later, it would have been a bit awkward for me to sort of steal my friend's name. So that's Georgia. The next name that I absolutely love but again won't be using is Aurora. The reason I won't be using it is because everybody that I've mentioned that I really love this name to have all said that it is far too Disney and I'd never get away with it. I really still love it. I really love the name Aurora, and who knows, maybe one day I will actually use it because I just love it so much. The next name that I like is Autumn. I've seen a lot of American YouTubers name their daughters Autumn, and when I've mentioned it to my friends have all said that's fine for Americans because they tend to call the season fall, not autumn, and so it's not quite as out there as calling your daughter Autumn. But again, it's a name that I really like, and autumn is my favourite season. I love naturey names and I just really like the name Autumn, and it's always a name that I've really liked. And summer seems to be pretty popular. A lot of people call their children Summer, so I mean I don't see why autumn might not start creeping in there. So it's still a name I really love, as are all of these. The next name that I really like is Winter, and it's the same sort of thing. I really like seasonal names, but a lot of people would think it was a bit too out there. I tend to take inspiration from literary characters, and so sometimes I do get a little bit carried away. Perhaps Winter would be a better name for a character in a book, but again, it's another name that I seriously love, and I'm not even sorry. The next name on my list is Neve. I love the name Neve. I really love Irish baby names, and Neve has always been one of my favourites. But again, I personally know two people who've used that name, and yeah, I don't want to have the same name as all of my friends. The next name on the list is Tyne. I really like that. I'm currently living in Scotland, but when I lived down near London, I met a couple of people who were called Tyne and I really thought it was quite pretty. But as I'm from Newcastle and a lot of my friends and family are all still in Newcastle, naming my child after the river that runs through Newcastle would be thought of as a little bit strange. So that is the reason why I'm not using Tyne, even though I love it. The next name on the list is Nova. I love that name. I just think it's a really pretty name. I quite like the link to supernova, which is a star that burns really, really brightly, but then it burns out, and that kind of puts me off using it. I don't really want to predict a child's life with sort of burning brightly then burning out. That's just for me. I really like the name Nova. I think it's beautiful, and yeah, it's still one of my favourite names and I think it's really pretty. The next name that I love is Tallulah. Again, it's another one that I really like the sound of it. I love Tally for a sort of a shortening or a nickname, and again, that's something I do quite like. I do quite like long names that you can shorten, or really pretty sounding names. I like lots of L-A sounds, and yeah, I put a lot of thought into baby names. I do really like Tallulah, but one of the names that I have picked out for a future child of mine sounds really similar to Tallulah, so I'm not sure I'd be able to get away with both of them. Probably not. So I prefer my other name over Tallulah, which is why Tallulah is a name that I love but probably won't be using. And the final name that I've got and love is Isla. Isla's gaining in popularity. I've heard a lot of people calling their daughter Isla. It's still a name I really love, but it doesn't go with the name that I've got for my daughter. Isla is a bit too close to my daughter's name, so the two of them couldn't really go together. It would be too similar, and so it goes in the same sort of category as Tallulah, as a name that I love. But I have other names that I've already used or I'm intending to use that just wouldn't work with Isla or Tallulah. So yeah, those are the top 10 girl names that I really love but won't be using. And I know my baby name tastes aren't the same as everyone else's. They're certainly not the same as my husband's. But that is one of the things that I really love about these sort of videos. And it's one of the first things I do when I hear someone's had a baby. I ask I want to know immediately what they've called it, because I just love baby names. There's something so personal about it. So if the names that I like aren't anywhere near anything that you would use yourself, welcome to my husband's world, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now.